1. A physical education teacher invented basketball. In 1891, Dr. James Naismith, a physical education teacher at the YMCA in Springfield, Massachusetts, was tasked with creating a new game to keep his students active during the cold winter months. His solution? Basketball. With just a soccer ball and 2 peach baskets, Naismith invented a game that would soon become a global sensation. His main goal was to create a non-violent game focused on skill, not brute strength. And that's how basketball was born. 2. The first basketball game had only 13 simple rules. When Naismith first introduced basketball, he wrote down only 13 simple rules to guide the game. These original rules still form the backbone of modern basketball, though some have evolved. For example, dribbling wasn't allowed at first, and there was no three-point line. Players could only pass and shoot. Today, dribbling is one of the key skills in basketball. 3. The first basketball hoop was actually a peach basket. One of the most interesting and iconic facts about basketball is that the first basketball hoop was simply a peach basket nailed to the balcony of the gymnasium. Players would throw the ball into the basket, but since there was no hole at the bottom, someone had to climb up to retrieve the ball every time a point was scored. It wasn't until much later that the open bottom neck became the standard. 4. The first games of basketball had 9 players per team. While modern basketball teams consist of 5 players, the first game featured 9 players on each side. Naismith divided his class of 18 students into 2 teams, with one trying to score while the other defended. Eventually, the game was refined into the 5-on-5 format we know today. 5. The NBA was established in 1946. The National Basketball Association, NBA, now the most prestigious professional basketball league in the world, was founded in New York City in 1946. Initially called the Basketball Association of America, BAA, it merged with the National Basketball League, NBL, in 1949 to become the NBA. The league started with only 11 teams, and the first game was played between the New York Knicks and the Toronto Huskies. 6. Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game remains an NBA record. On March 2, 1962, Wilt Chamberlain set an NBA record that still stands today, scoring an incredible 100 points in a single game for the Philadelphia Warriors against the New York Knicks. This achievement remains one of the most legendary performances in basketball history, and no player has come close to matching it since. 7. The first ever basketball game ended with a score of 1-0. It's hard to imagine a basketball game today with such a low score, but the very first official basketball game ended with a score of 1-0. This highlights just how difficult scoring was in the early days of the sport, especially since the hoops were peach baskets with no holes at the bottom. 8. Slam dunks were once banned in college basketball. Believe it or not, slam dunks were banned in college basketball from 1967 to 1976. The ban, imposed by the NCAA, was largely due to the dominance of Lew Alcindor, later known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was virtually unstoppable with his dunking ability. The ban was eventually lifted, and the slam dunk has since become one of the most exciting and iconic elements of the game. 9. Basketball was added as an Olympic sport in 1936. Basketball made its Olympic debut in 1936 at the Summer Olympics in Berlin, Germany. Dr. James Naismith, the inventor of basketball, was honored during the event, and the United States won the first Olympic gold medal in basketball. Since then, basketball has remained a key sport in the Summer Olympics, with the United States continuing to dominate both the men's and women's competitions. 10. The Boston Celtics hold the record for most championships. The Boston Celtics are one of the most accomplished teams in NBA history. With 17 NBA championships, the Celtics share the most titles in league history with their longtime rivals, the Los Angeles Lakers. The Celtics' golden era came in the 1960s when they won 11 championships in 13 seasons, led by legendary players like Bill Russell. 11. Magic Johnson helped popularize the term triple-double. A triple-double occurs when a player records double-digit numbers in 3 statistical categories in a single game, typically points, rebounds, and assists. While the achievement had existed before, the term triple-double became popular in the 1980s thanks to the standout performances of Magic Johnson, who frequently recorded such statistics. 12. Kobe Bryant recorded 81 points in one game. On January 22, 2006, Kobe Bryant of the Los Angeles Lakers scored 81 points in a game against the Toronto Raptors. This remarkable achievement is the second highest point total in an NBA game, only behind Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point performance. 13. Michael Jordan was once cut from his high school basketball team. One of the most inspiring stories in basketball history is that of Michael Jordan, often considered the greatest player of all time. As a sophomore, Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, which devastated him. However, this setback only fueled his determination, and he went on to become a 6-time NBA champion and 5-time MVP. 14. Women's basketball has a history spanning over a century. Just a few months after basketball was invented, women's basketball was introduced by Senda Berenson, a physical education teacher at Smith College, in 1892. Women's basketball has steadily grown since then, and the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, was established in 1996, providing a professional platform for the best female players in the world. 15. 1898 marked the formation of the first professional basketball league. The first professional basketball league, known as the National Basketball League, NBL, was established in 1898. Although it only lasted for 6 years, the NBL paved the way for the development of professional basketball leagues, culminating in the formation of the NBA. 16. Basketball court dimensions have evolved little over the years. While many sports have seen significant changes in the size of their fields or courts, the basketball court has remained virtually unchanged since the sport's inception. The standard NBA court measures 94 feet long and 50 feet wide, a size that has been in place for decades. 17. Dribbling wasn't part of the game in basketball's early days. In the early days of basketball, players were not allowed to dribble. Instead, they had to pass the ball to their teammates to move it down the court. Later, dribbling was introduced as a way to make the game more dynamic and faster-paced. 18. Earl Lloyd became the first African-American player in NBA history. On October 31st, 1950, Earl Lloyd broke the color barrier in professional basketball by becoming the first African-American player to play in an NBA game. Lloyd played for the Washington Capitals and paved the way for many future generations of African-American athletes in the sport. His contributions to the game and the progress of diversity in basketball are widely celebrated today. 19. Springfield, Massachusetts is home to the Basketball Hall of Fame. The Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame is located in Springfield, Massachusetts, the birthplace of basketball. Established in 1959, the Hall of Fame honors players, coaches, referees, and other significant contributors to the sport. Each year, a new group of individuals is inducted, solidifying their place in basketball history. 20. The shortest and tallest players in NBA history were teammates. Muggsy Bogues, who stood at 5 feet 3 inches, and Manu Ginobili, who was 7 feet 7 inches tall, the shortest and tallest players in NBA history, played together on the Washington Bullets during the 1987-88 season. What do you think about these amazing basketball facts? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss any of our future basketball videos.